Keep it real casual like. Alright. I don't know. We live yet? We're live. Alright. First and foremost, glory be to God. Everybody, welcome back. It's Lifted Noise. My name's Raul. Yeah, if you've never been here, what I usually do is, MPC content. Mostly standalone tutorials, beat making videos. Been doing live streams a lot lately, just trying to get one in here on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Doing their best, trying their best, to make it happen, provide for their families, and stay sane and create something here and there. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'm getting one in, and yeah, and I don't know. So I'm figuring this out, just trying to do as many live streams as I can until I feel comfortable and it just comes natural. And I start doing, hold on a second. There will be interruptions. I'm just trying to get this properly set up. I've had some issues with my live stream dropping out, so if that happens, I'll probably pause a second so nothing gets cut out. Okay, so you can see I kind of move things around in here a little bit. You can see my TV, so you can kind of see the behind the scenes of the software I'm running for the stream, which I think is kind of cool. I like to show as much as I can, but it's not without hiccups. So for some reason it's doing this thing where it blacks out, so you'll probably see it black out. So forgive me, but I'm celebrating a little bit because I'm a dad. Got a little whiskey. It's Jameson. But what I want to talk about today, so let me just go ahead and ask the question, because I kind of want to like start fitting questions in here so I can do a little bit of, maybe some beat making here. Maybe I'll make a beat and then just have a bit of a conversation. And I'm going to pull up the chat if I can in a second. But the question is, how many samplers do you own? And why? Like, how many samplers do you own and why? Why do you feel the need to have more than one sampler? Do you feel like there's some kind of benefit to that? Are you just a collector? Do you use the samplers in conjunction with another, like side by side? Or do you just like switch it up here and there just to keep things fresh? So those are my ideas. And if I can pull up the chat, I will. But you know what? I'll just go ahead and show you. The reason why I'm asking this question is because I really want this new sampler that's dropping. And it is called the Novation Circuit Rhythm. So it's a brand new standalone sampler. There was news of it back in like February of this year. And they had dropped, like, Novation came out with the Novation Circuit Tracks, which is like the next upgraded version of their circuit, the Novation Circuit, I believe it's just called. So it's just a groove box. So the Tracks is a groove box, and the Circuit Rhythm is like the same form factor, but it's the sampler version of that groove box. So it looks really cool to me, and I told myself back in February, you know what, I'm gonna like just chill off of buying gear because I do have gas from here, here and there quite a bit. And I told myself I was gonna buy this because I knew it was gonna be dropping in summer. But I just learned a few days ago that it's dropping June 22nd, so that's 2 days away. So right on time for Father's Day, I could treat myself, right? I got a little excuse. I still go back and forth my head with all my purchases. Like, do I need that? Obviously, it's not a necessity for me. I have the MPC ONE. I could do whatever I want with it, everything I want with it. So I had that little war, that little internal war within myself. But let's take a look at it real quick because I wanted to test out these features I haven't tested out with the stream, with this app. So if this is working properly, you can see this is the Novation site with the details, just a little bit of details. So the Circuit Rhythm, sample, make beats, perform, stay one beat ahead, make samples completely your own, build beats into any vibe, and perform with ease with Circuit Rhythm, launching June 22nd, 2021. So there hasn't been any news. I haven't seen any videos No content creators or YouTubes made anything recently. Back in February, a few people did. Ab McCree, he did one that was cool. Checked his video out. And Gabe Miller Music, he's someone who's up on top of like the Novation stuff and groove boxes. I like his channel. I've been kind of checking it out just to kind of see how the circuits work, just so I have a good idea like when I do get one. Well, okay, it says designed for an intuitive workflow, Circuit Rhythm comes as a blessing for beat makers, capture creative ideas quickly and build meticulous beats effortlessly with grid effects. Circuit Rhythm is the perfect performance tool. Invigorate your live set with beat repeat. Embrace imperfection with vinyl simulation. Now, you know, of course, if you know me a little bit, that's got me geeked out. That's the reason why I bought the SP404. Was for the vinyl sim. One of the main reasons. So yeah, it kind of looks like they're aiming for that little market, the lo-fi group, with some of those things like the performance, the effects, and the vinyl sim. So it says you can record samples directly into the machine, sculpt them to suit your style, and resample, playback samples however you choose, whether you're chopping straight from vinyl, making bass lines and melodies, or punching in drums. Create beats without complication with Circuit Rhythm. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. See if I can get rid of this little. Give me a second to figure out the technical stuff while I sip my Jameson. So I'm going to delete this. Just get off the screen. And go back. Try to pull up the chat, guys. So I don't know if you guys been talking, but I want to talk with you guys, see what you had to say about how many samplers you own. Oh, it's Bryant Wally. What's up, brother? Recognize, man. Appreciate the super chat or super sticker. I don't know the difference yet. Jay the Creator, what's good? Martel Music. I own an MPC 2000 XL and MPK Mini 3. Okay, so you own just the one sampler. Let me go all the way up. H. Gonzalez got the 500 and the 1. Just sold my 1000 and 44 a couple months ago. Cool. I'd like to hear a little bit why you sold your 44. I actually sold my 44 as well. So to go ahead and answer my own question, I think the most amount of samplers that I owed at once was 3, I think. So not too long ago, I had the MPC Live, I had the SP44, and I also had the 500 like you. So the Live, of course, was my main. The 44, I had waited a couple years and researched it and tried to figure out all the workarounds within the MPC One to get that vinyl sim. Then I finally bought it. I enjoyed it. I kind of wanted to buy it as a box to use on its own, just like a standalone sampler to make beats without like anything else, without, you know, send it side by side in MPC, as I see a lot of people do. That wasn't really my interest to like put them together, but it was a cool little unit for like, I think I really liked it for the drums, for like EQs, for resampling, doing the vinyl sim, that kind of thing. And I also had the 500 just out of nostalgia. Just wanted to buy it again. It's the one I owned before I owned the Live. And yeah, so I ended up selling the 44 and the 500 when I needed some money. And just, I don't know, I bought some other things and just how it goes. So now I own the MPC One, and I also own a Teenage Engineering PL33, the Knockout. But I haven't really gotten into it too much. It's just sitting over there. It's hanging on the wall. But yeah, now I want this one, the Novation. So I'm going to go through the chat a little bit more. Martel Music, I have a Rode NT1 USB Mini mic. I've had 7. I only use MK1 and MPC Live, some collectors, some were just good deals, and I've then passed them on. Okay. So like 7 all at once, or just 7, you've owned 7 different samplers? Damn, Bryant. I appreciate the generosity, bro. I don't know if that was the same one. Yeah, I think it was. I'm just looking at this. But I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you. And not I took your advice on you know, the whole setup and the camera view and stuff, but obviously we're not doing that today. This might just be a chat. I won't even make a beat most likely. Let me see. Um, Man, I can't keep up with the chat, guys. See, I got some practice to do, so I'm trying to scroll up. As a producer, it's not a problem. Exploring tools is actually part of the job. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think I'm gonna jump on this one. At least I could try it out. You know, if it doesn't work, you know, maybe I'll make some videos out of it, and maybe you guys will get some value out of it. Novation, and you've always enjoyed Novation Focusrite products. I've never really used any, so it should be interesting. Linda's son, what up, Darren? MPC Live Retro, Machine Plus, SP44A, SP303. I'm a collector. I also use all of them. And at this point of my life, my kids are grown and I can afford it. See, this keeps jumping around on me. So I treat myself, create, and have fun. No doubt, man. And you do well. You're making some dope stuff. So, yeah, keep it up. SBM Resonate, welcome, bro. Uh, no doubt. I appreciate you coming in and always providing some kind of insight. Appreciate what you do as well. I wanted more of an on-the-go sampler. Sequencer 4.4 was cool, but it's more of an FX box and less a sequencer. Yeah. Yeah, the sequencer is kind of... I never got into the sequencer. I wanted to take some time to learn it, but I was doing like the resample method with the 4.4. Alright, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. There might be some kind of setting on my end where I can keep it from scrolling, but every time you guys type, it messes up my spot, so I have to keep scrolling back up. I just wish more artists would get into sound design and sample their own music from scratch instead of others. Yeah, there's a place for all that. The origins of hip hop comes from sampling, so I won't knock that. But I'm definitely in the place where I want to create my own stuff. So, but there's definitely there's a benefit from that. I mean, if you're listening to if you're taking other people's music, take a moment to learn from it. You know what I mean? And if you haven't read the book Steal Like an Artist, check it out, because I think we all get caught up on like just being so super original when, I mean, how much originality is there? A lot of stuff is just recycled, whether we actually physically take it off of vinyl or some other source, or we receive it in, we hear it, and then we interpret it and we get inspired, and whether we do it intentionally or subconsciously, I mean, we're all kind of pulling from what's already out there in the ether. So let's not get too caught up in this whole originality thing. Just create and be free. Cheap Noise, what's up, man? Welcome in. Animal Kitchen. Peace got the 1 and the SP44. There you go, nice combo. And you know what, Animal Kitchen, I feel like I've checked out some of your videos in the past. Ruffian Kick, what up, bro? I've definitely checked out some of your stuff. Jada Creator, At Once Addicted. Hold on. At Once Addicted, even a beat thing. Oh, yeah, it's quite an addiction. I think the sampler is it's what fascinates me the most as far as musical gear, is the sampler. Yeah, I looked at the beat thing when it was coming out. I wish I could have picked one up. It's too bad with its fate, because it seemed like it was ahead of its time. It really was kind of almost like low-key pioneered a lot of the stuff we see now, like with the battery, and just a lot of that stuff is really, it had potential. Let me say that. Ruffian Kick, huge fan of the channel. That's what's up, bro. You make some dope stuff, but bro, I've definitely, I'm subscribed to you. I don't know if I've really seen anything lately, but I do believe I follow you on Instagram, and that's because you make fire beats. So, Martell Music, I bet that Jameson is smooth. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been just sipping a little bottle over the last week. I don't drink a lot, but I thought I'd celebrate. So, any dads out there, cheers to staying sane and making some shit happen. Let's keep going. My least favorite sampler. Oh. Okay, let's talk about all the samplers I've ever had. Number one is the S20. Number two was the MPC 1000. I've owned the MPC 2500, the 500, SP404. I had the MPC Studio Renaissance. Live one. I mean, I like them all. If I was gonna say, I mean, the S20, it was my first sampler, so I loved it. I think I even bought it like twice, but it didn't really have a sequencer. So, I mean, if I was gonna kick one to the curb, I guess it would be the S20, just because it's very limited. But it holds a kind of a special spot in my heart since it was my very first sampler. That's the Akai S20 if you guys ain't seen it. But also, I don't really like the tethered to the computer thing. So the Studio, the Renaissance, although the workflow is nice. I mean, it still had the MPC workflow. I want to be like Linda's son when I grow up. I'm rocking the Live 2 Retro, the Minilog XD. Well, the Minilog's not a sampler. Who's that? Hey, baby. I'm just doing a live stream, okay? I'll be out in a moment, alright?
How are you?
Okay. Just give me about 10 minutes, okay? I'll be right out.
The tablet quiet. The tablet turned down.
You want me to turn it up? It sounds pretty loud to me. Live 2 Retro, Minilog, Tascam Model 12. Okay. So got your 500. Yeah, I sold mine not too long ago. I got my Force a few months back and I really clicked with it. I enjoy my live, but the workflow is really different. I'm contemplating getting an iPad and trying to be Maker 3. Cool. Creation is the motivation. It's true because it rhymes. No, but it is. Creativity motivates me for sure. I'm starting to realize that simplicity and getting back to basics is where it's at. I think a lot of us are trying too hard to do too much, but that's just me. This perfectionist stuff is no joke. Yeah, that'll stop you up. It's never going to be perfect. You're always going to have some kind of new standard, and that's just human behavior. That goes for a lot of things, and it's the same with like the whole gas thing where you want a new piece of gear. It's just it's like an endless desire, endless thirst, like a want. So you gotta realize that shit and just kind of get over it and just get busy and just I don't know. We're all figuring it out. Don't wait till you figure it all out before you get started. Yeah, I feel you, SBN. Yeah, and I'm procrastinating on a lot of stuff, bro. I watched one of your videos the other day. I didn't comment on it, but it had something to do with like I think you were talking about like recording vocals, but your environment, like where you're living at, wasn't like the ideal spot. And I wanted to leave a comment as if I had some kind of solution for you. It was like, get a battery for the MPC, get a USB mic, and just hook up and record in your car. Like, you could do that, like almost anything's an excuse. But I really feel you on it because, like, honestly, I'm trying to do the same thing, record vocals, and I'm not doing that either. I live at home with my family, right, in this little apartment, and I want to record more vocals, but I haven't done that myself. Like I've got all the tools. Like I got the USB mic, I've got the battery for the MPC One. I take it to work with me all the time, but I don't record vocals or put it in my car because it's just, I don't know. There's just something about that. I think you got to be really, 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 really hungry, which I am at times, but sometimes it's just not the right vibe. Like I don't even, like every day I pack my MPC up in my backpack and I take it to work. So I'm ready just in case, some kind of inspiration or so I can plan something for a video. And sometimes I just don't pull it out of the bag. Sometimes it stays in the bag. I come home, but I'll pull it out when I come home. I'll set it here and I do the same thing, the same routine every day, just so I'm ready. But like, they're just not ideal environments all the time. So I get it. So I just wanted to say that, like, I was gonna comment on that because I was listening to your video and you talk about that while I was like working, and I like had the solution, and it's kind of like advice to myself as well. So, Cigarello of Martel Music, love the channel, bro. This is Cigarello. Well, welcome. Nice to meet you, bro. The Renaissance pads felt a little off. Get a mic that rejects off axis. Use low gain. You'll have to be close to it, but you can manage the noise this way. Yeah, for sure. Cool. I'm all caught up with the chat. So, what else did I want to say? Well, hey, Animal Kitchen. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work, B. Bro, you were one of the first to check my stuff a few years ago. I went off the grid for a while. Now I'm getting back to it. Your growth YouTube is expiring. Peace to all producers. Oh, much love, man. Respect. Yeah, I definitely checked out your channel. I probably was at least a year or two ago. But I remember it being dope, like with the videos and stuff. So you should definitely continue. I don't know if you've been doing it lately, but as far as my memory serves, the beats were tight and the video production was nice. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, I got notes. I got this little thing where I keep notes for these live streams I'm working on. And I wrote down weird sampler premonition. So this is gonna sound weird, but back before the MPC One was announced, the day before, I had no idea it was coming out. But I was having a conversation with someone about the SP404. So this was before I bought the SP404. And I was like, yo, I'm going to buy the SP404 tomorrow unless Akai drops another MPC of some sort. And then it dropped, of course, and I wasn't interested. I looked at it, I was like, nah, it doesn't really offer anything to me that I don't have in the MPC Live. So I passed, and I went and bought the 404. And bringing that back to the Novation Circuit. So the day before the Novation Circuit dropped, or not that it dropped, right? News that the Circuit Rhythm and the sampler were dropping. I went on YouTube. I was at work on my break, of course. I went on YouTube and I looked up the circuit, like the original circuit. I don't know if you guys have seen it. So it's a groove box. And for some reason, I already knew that it wasn't a sampler. It was a sample player where you can load up samples, which really turns me off. Like you have to use USB and transfer and stuff. To me, that's not a sampler. I'm not interested in that. I'm gonna wait a second. It looks like there's an interruption. If you guys can let me know if I'm interrupted in the chat. If you're hearing this, please let me know. I'm gonna give it a little second and finish my Jameson. Let's go to the bottom. Are we good? Are we still live? Okay. So, the night before the news of the new circuits, the Circuit Rhythm and the tracks were coming out, I was looking at the original circuit. Once again, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a possibility that it was a sampler, just because I was having some gas and I was like, be nice to have something like this. I kind of like the form factor of it. And then the very next day, the news comes that they're soon going to be releasing a sampler version of it. So, weird kind of story. I have this weird sampler premonition and intuition of some sort. Super nerdy, geeky intuition about samplers. So yeah, I wanted to share that. So one of the reasons I think someone asked me the question, a few people have asked me the question over the last, I don't know how many months it's been. If it's been, I don't even know if it's been a year since I switched from the MPC Live to the MPC One, and wondering why would you do that? And I have like two answers to that. One is super superficial. It's just I just wanted a new sampler. I wanted that feeling you get when you buy something new. Plain and simple, not very insightful, right? And I got a YouTube channel, and part of the thinking when you have a YouTube channel is get a new piece of gear, and the hype kind of helped the channel out. So there's that. But I didn't jump on it immediately. Um, I had thought about getting the MPC Live 2. I waited till that was announced before getting the MPC One. But one thing that is appealing about it is it has so much more buttons than the MPC Live and the Live 2. And I kind of have this theory that with the buttons, and I came to this theory after getting the MPC 500 again, because it's got a lot of buttons. And although it doesn't have much of a screen and you got to do a lot of menu diving, like my muscle memory was kicking in to like back before when I had it, and I was just moving so quickly that the workflow, it didn't matter that it didn't have a touchscreen. I was just moving super fast. So it's just my theory that more buttons allow for like the muscle memory to activate, and then you can move a lot faster. That's just my thought. So I like the physical buttons. So that's where a lot of the interest with this comes from, and a lot of interest with the Machine Plus was, although a lot of people would they see the appeal of the touchscreen and thinking that moving away from the touchscreen is actually detrimental to your workflow. I kind of feel like even the Machine Plus at this point, for me, maybe it's just let me just say, for me, it would be even quicker. And maybe also part of my theory is that, well, it does come down to different like learning types. You know what I mean? You know how people learn differently, visually, audibly, or whatever, all that stuff. And maybe I don't know too much about that, but I think for me, I don't have strong eyesight. So me learning visually or doing things visually isn't necessarily one of my strengths. So I think naturally, I prefer the hands-on and then using my ear. At this point, I think my ear is trained enough where I don't need to see a waveform to know where a transient is or to chop something. I can do it by ear, you know? So I actually prefer that. And so that's where I feel like this kind of really interests me, because this, I'm going to turn, you can see it already, but I'm going to turn this on. I got an image of the Novation with finer detail so you guys can see. I think it's a little better. But obviously there's no screen on the Novation Circuit Rhythm at all. Everything is just buttons and knobs. So every button and knob has a function. I think maybe some of the buttons and knobs have double functions, as you can see it. I haven't looked at this too much, but there's probably some sort of a shift, because if you look over like in the right corner above play and record, you got FX, and then you have sidechain at the bottom. Then going up, you got mixer, then you have grid effects. So it looks like some of the buttons have double functions, which the MPC One does as well, and it has a shift button that helps you utilize those things. But I feel like something like this, for me at least, and maybe people that might be like me, and there may be a lot of you on my channel that follow me, because I do mainly deal with standalone, who might see this and feel that it's appealing. And you SP44 guys too, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go over everything here. I haven't really looked at it, but it looks interesting. And it's coming out in 2 days, so let's see, let me pull this out of here. I'm going to go back to the chat if I can. Just wanted to briefly look at that. right. So I'm gonna head in the chat real quick and then I'll wrap it up. But yeah, a couple days and this thing's gonna be coming out. I've gone back and forth about whether I want to buy it or not because I know I don't need it. It's just kind of an extra thing. And one other thing is I know it's not going to replace this. I don't think it has audio tracks, and I definitely want to record full songs just with the MPC. And so it most definitely won't be a replacement. Huh. Okay, let's go. Alan B, super excited for this thing. Right on. I don't want to miss. Okay, Linda's son. Oh, you're talking to Brian. Overly critical of our own stuff when it measures up. Yeah, definitely. Just create. And while we create, let's create a new standard. I mean, there's a lot more freedom and accessibility now with the actual physical tools to create music and the tools to market music. So that's the next step after I get in a nice workflow of making music. I'll actually start putting it out. But yeah, we can create new standards. We got the tools here. Yeah. I miss the days when Mars Music had displays out to play with. We don't have Mars Music out here, so is that like kind of like a Guitar Center? Sukram Palang, I know I butchered that. Greetings from Bangkok. Right on, man. Welcome from California. Well, that's about it, man. So, I didn't want to get you guys gassed up to buy something new, but yeah, I was excited about this thing and like the news when it was dropping kind of abruptly jumped out on me and I saw a YouTube video and I was like, "What? Where'd that info come from?" So, right around the corner. Like Dr. Dre. Yeah, he'll take decades to put something out. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. We'll see. So, if you guys are interested in the circuit rhythm and what it can do, I am most likely going to be picking one up. We'll see what happens on the 22nd, this Tuesday, when it drops. I don't know if it's going to just be like on pre-order or if it's going to be available to pick up immediately because everyone's been super tight-lipped, it looks like, about it. Kind of unlike Akai. Akai kind of just, well, they leak things on purpose, I think, but no doubt. So we'll see. And until the next one, guys, probably another week till I get on, maybe next Friday or next weekend sometime. Yeah. Yeah, like I always say, stay humble and lift noise, but don't forget to be bold and just get out there and do. All right? Don't wait for that perfectionism flu to set in and kill your dreams. All right. Peace, everyone.